Here's what's going to happen. You're going to start having problems now that have a diagram, and I'm going to give you a true piece of information. You need to do two things for me. Mark your diagram based on that fact, and tell me something about the diagram now. All right? So anybody remember that symbol from last unit? Here we go. Vocab coming back, yeah? Perpendicular. Mark your diagram now. What's your diagram got to have on it if line segment AB is perpendicular to line segment BC? And this is what it comes to. Hey, we got to know what perpendicular means now. Train's not stopping. Train's not stopping with this vocab. What'd you put on your diagram and where? Here we go. 5. What did we put on our diagram?
The perpendicular mark, like a square kind of thing.
Where?
Right, like above B. Well,
at angle B.
At angle B, yes.
It's not a perpendicular mark either. That's a what symbol?
A 90 degree.
Right angle. Right angle symbol. Everyone agree? So everyone should have had that on their diagram. Now, I want you to tell me in words what you just marked. All right, and the way we're going to do that is putting them into columns. We're going to make this organized. We're going to have one column called our statements. That is anything you think is true about the diagram. Anything that you think is true about the diagram. And then on the other side, we're going to have the reasons column. Why do you think that's true? So we're going to organize all our thoughts. Again, statements, anything you think is true in this diagram. Reasons why it's true. So the first thing, and we're always going to number it. So whatever you put for statement 1 is going to go for reason number 1. We're going to keep this thing pretty organized. Okay, and anything we do here, your first statement, what we know is true is always going to be what was given to you. So we know that AB is perpendicular to BC. We know that's true. And don't overcomplicate it. How do we know it's true? Don't overcomplicate it. Why is it true? It was? It was given to us. So that's all we're going to write, given. Now you guys take over. If that's true, what else is true? What did we just mark on the diagram? What did we just mark on the diagram? 13, what did we just mark?
That's 90 degrees.
What's 90 degrees? Name it.
AB.
What angle was 90 degrees? Name the angle. Was it?
B.
Angle B. I'm going to go ABC because I like it with 3 letters. So statement 2 is going to be, hey, angle ABC is a right angle. And you can start any abbreviations I do up here. Fair, you guys can do as well. Please don't start doing your own hieroglyphics, though. How do we know it's a right angle? See, now this is the tough part. You got to explain to me why it's a right angle. So I can write something in the reasons column here. Why is it a right angle? What told you it was a right angle? Why did you mark it? 11, just talk to me here.
Because AB lines AB and BC are perpendicular.
Great, because you know what perpendicular means. So here's what we're going to write. Anytime you're going to say something's a right angle, perpendicular lines form. You guys want to finish it? Perpendicular lines form right angles. So that's what you're going to start getting the habit of doing today, because this is what you need to do for proofs for me. Based on the given, what other true facts can you write? Okay. How are you going to know what's true? Based on your vocab from last year. All right. Other questions, comments? All right, 1 doesn't make you great. Here we go again. All right, let's go. Hurry up. Nominations. If this happens again, I'm just going to lose it. Reasons. 4. What'd you mark your diagram with? Where?
On angle ABB and angle BC.
Okay, good. All right, let's go over to our statements. First statement's the given. Make sure you put number 1 with it. BD is the bisector of ABC. because that's given. All right, second one should be what you just marked on the diagram. Write what you just marked. Put it into words now, what you just marked. Angle, ABD. What symbol am I going to put between here? What do those arc marks represent? What symbol am I going to put in between those two angles now? 13?
An equal sign with a little like on the top.
Yep, congruent. 2, DBC. Good work. All right, why? Why put those markings? Why did you know those two angles were congruent? Why? 12?
Because
What told you they were congruent?
line D is a bisector.
Well, BD is a bisector, so we're going to go definition. I'm just going to abbreviate it DEF. Definition of a bisector. Because a bisector cuts an angle into two congruent parts. I'm not done though. I want one more piece of information. Many of you aren't going to think about, so I'll write it down, but you fill in the blank. Ready? Angle A. Let's go back to angle ABD is equal to blank angle ABC. We know they're not equal, right? Can somebody put something in front of ABC to make that statement true? Think about it. ABD, they're not equal, obviously not, but I can put something in front of ABC to make them equal. What do you got, Charlie?
Half of it.
Half, correct. ABD is half the measure of ABC. Right. Why half? Why not a third? Why not a quarter? Have it.
It bisects it.
Definition of A. Not only does a bisector cut an angle into two congruent parts, it cuts it in half. So there you go. So get used to telling me it's a half if you see bisector. How are we feeling here? Because I got two more to do with you and then you're on your own. All right, example 3. What did I not provide here? Okay, you think you can draw it though yourself? Draw, don't construct, draw. M is the midpoint of AB. Think you can give me a line segment AB and M is the midpoint? Mark it and mark it on your diagram, what you know. What'd you mark on what can you mark on your diagram? Here we go. 7. What can you mark on your diagram?
Hash mark.
Where?
A, M, and B.
Good job. Now put that into your proof. What did we just mark on the diagram that we can write in words now in the proof or in the statements column? 3. What did we just mark in the diagram that I can now write symbolically here? AM congruent to MB. Good deal. What do you think for a reason why? Why'd you mark it? What vocabulary term was up there? That made you mark it. What vocabulary term was up there? Here we go. 12.
Midpoint.
Definition of a midpoint. One more thing. Well, one more piece of true information. You had bisector above. Midpoint kind of works the same way, right? What else can you tell me? 4, what else can you tell me? Similar to the problem above. AM equals midpoint. What's it do? Cuts the segment in. Who's got 4? 4? I want to do something similar to what I did above here. But instead of using bisector, I'm using midpoint. So AM is what of AB? 1/2. Yep. And now I should have mentioned this above. I could also put an MB, right? I could also put an MB and it still means the same, right? Definition of a midpoint. All right, all good. One more here, and it's going to be a little bit tougher, this last one, because this last one, no vocabulary terms, but I can still get a bunch of stuff out of it. All right, so set up your statements, reasons. These should be, did I put lines on those? Nope, I didn't this year. Make sure these are lines, not line segments, WR and IE. Thank you. So let's at least get our givens in. Think about what you can, I know there's no big vocabulary term, but we've talked about some stuff in Unit 1 that's true. So see if you can mark your diagram with anything. I'm looking for at least 2 statements given to you by you guys. 2 more statements. All right, can you give me one? We'll worry. I'm really just concerned about the markings right now. I'll help you guys on the statements and especially the reasons, but the markings. Tell me one thing that's true about this diagram. 12?
Line EI is 180 degrees.
Okay, I'll take it's EI 180. That's 100% true. All right, and we can write that down because lines measure, straight angles measure 180. Right? I'm looking for more. No, more. Okay, let's get more out. That is true fact. I'm not going to deny that, Rachel. Great job. True fact. 3 more. How do you know that? Where does it say that? And it's a line. It's a line spin. Lines can't have midpoints, right? Does it? Remember, guys, we can't assume anything by the looks of the diagram. We need. Hey, look, listen. We need to go based on what's given. I'm not going to make up words that are not there. Don't tell me anything about perpendicular. That word doesn't exist up there. So right angles aren't up there. I need to go by the diagram and what's given only. I cannot assume anything. So I'm still looking for it. It's something we talked about, actually 2 different things we talked about in Unit 1. 6. There we go. These 2 are congruent. And so are these 2. So angle WSI congruent to angle ESR. And watch what I'm about to do, and this is allowed. I'm also going to put the other set of angles in the same step because they're going to have the same reason why they're congruent. So if you ever have 2 statements that are going to have the same reason, put them in the same step. All right. Why are they congruent? This is going again, unit 1, coming back more and more. You hopefully you're believers now. Why are those angles congruent? 8. What type of angles are they? I should ask. Who's got 8? No 8. No 8 today. 6. Vertical lines. Vertical angles. Vertical angles. And hey, we're not going to write definition of vertical angles. We wrote down in our packet in unit 1, vertical angles are what? What was the fact about them? If they're vertical, they are congruent. There you go. Vertical angles are congruent. I remember the chat we had about self-respect. CAL, not CLE. Don't be an embarrassment to the math community or your family. CAL. I told you I wanted 2. I want one more. Something else about these angles. Think you got it, Charlie?
Line WR intersects line EI at S.
That's what they gave me, right? Or are you just adding in the add S?
Oh,
That was given, right?
yeah.
Okay. So that should be there in number 1.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that as you're given. Come on, think about everything we've done here. I'm not looking for any fact about the lines. I'm not. How many angles are formed up here? 4. I'm looking for some facts about the angles. Go ahead, Anna.
Angles ESR and ISR are supplementary.
ESR, ISR. Supplementary? Yes? Couldn't I say that also about a bunch of other pairs up here? Supplementary? Okay, I'm only going to take one pair, so say it again. What's the one you picked?
ESR and ISR.
Angle ESR and angle ISR are supplementary. Meaning they add up to what, everyone? $180. And again, you could have not picked those 2. You could pick a bunch of pairs. It's not definition of supplementary, though. How do I know those 2 angles are supplementary? What type of angles are they? I know they're supplementary, but what did we call them in unit 1? Adjacent and supplementary. We put them together and called them what? Linear pairs. So we say linear pairs are supplementary. And I understand it right now. You're like, how am I ever going to know to write that? You're going to do so many of these, it's going to become second nature. Oh, they're supplementary because linear pairs are supplementary. It's going to become second nature. We're going to do so many of these. All right, we're done because I need to walk around and watch you guys do the assignment. Again, you can't check anything because I want to see what you write on your own. When you're doing the assignment on your own, you have to write at least one statement on your own. The givens alone won't cut it. At least write number 2, maybe even number 3 on your own. All right, but bare minimum, write one of your own statements that's true. Before we start, go to number 5. This happens every year. I was just on Spencer about don't make up things that aren't there. Does anybody see anything about perpendicular lines on number 5? Anybody see anything about right angles? What do you see about right angles?
No.
So don't tell me HM, AT are right angles because it looks like it. All right, don't go by the looks of the diagram, please. All right, please don't. All right, raise your hand. Does this look good? What would I write in my reasons column? Do I need this in my statements? Ask. All right, because I'm going to be coming around hovering, looking at what you're writing. All right, let's get going. What you write in the statement should be based on what you're given. Use the given to write a statement.